question is, why does God even allow suffering? And what hope do we as Christians have in a world that is filled with so much tragedy and unspeakable suffering? I think the best answer to any question that begins, why did God, is for His glory. Now, that's not meant to minimize the pain and the anguish and oftentimes even the despair that suffering can bring to bear on our hearts. It is simply a way of saying that there is an ultimate reason, even if we can't fully grasp it, why God would allow suffering in this world. I think probably the best way to answer that is this. I believe God allows suffering precisely so that His mercy, His kindness, and His grace, and His long-suffering in receiving suffering saints and bringing comfort to their hearts in the midst of it can be seen. So even suffering exists in some mysterious way to point to the glory of God, His sovereignty, the majesty in which He governs the universe, so that in the final day, we will see how every pain we have endured, every heartache that we have been forced to suffer, has been used of God to bring attention to His glory and grace, and also as a way of refining our character and bringing us more into conformity with who Jesus is. And then, of course, there's the question, what hope do we have in a world filled with so much heartache and suffering? Well, that brings me back to Romans 8:18 through 25, where Paul says that the whole of creation has been subjected to futility in hope of the ultimate and final redemption of our bodies. So we have this living hope. Peter says it in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 3, a hope that is alive and powerful, and he goes on to say that is reserved in heaven for us, an imperishable, unfading hope that all the wrongs of this world will be righted, that Jesus the judge will bring to bear righteous punishment on those who have inflicted vengeance and sin upon God's people, and ultimately we will find the new heavens and the new earth where our hope is fulfilled and all the wrongs will have been righted and all the questions will have been answered, and we will rejoice in God's presence for eternity.